Okay, in this video, you're going to learn how to adjust a plane, a bench plane, to take a good shaving off your work. You're also going to learn how to hold your work using a bench dog and the vise that's on the bench. So to begin with, I want to show you how to make adjustments to the plane. There's a little knob or a wheel on the back here of the plane, and if you turn it uh, clockwise, which would be this way to the right, it will move the blade out or move the blade down. If you turn it the opposite way, counterclockwise, which would be um, this way, turning it counterclockwise, it's going to move the blade back out, and you can take a lighter cut. Generally, you want the lightest cut that you can because you get the nice finish. It's the easiest to plane. And it's just easier to do. It's usually what you're doing. One thing you need to concern yourself with when you're making an adjustment is to take care of any play or backlash that is that is in the wheel, because there's a spot here, as you can see, where as I'm turning this, there's it turns very freely. There's no adjustment being made right now. I'm turning it to the right, clockwise and counterclockwise, and it's spinning freely. It's not moving the blade at all. So, for instance, I've backed it out now, and we're going to try planing a little bit. But before I start planing, I want to talk a little bit about the bench dog and how to hold your work. So we have a piece of work that we're using for demonstration here, and I've got a bench dog, which is a wooden peg that's got a little catch on it and a flat spot to put the end of the board when we're planing. And on the bench, or on the vise, there's a dog that slides up and down. There's a little lever on the front that you can lift it up and down. What we would do is we would pick the suitable hole on the table that will accommodate the work that we're going to do, that will fit the work. And so I'm going to flip up that vise dog, and I've opened the vise a little bit, and it looks like if I put it in this hole here, the second one in, if I put it on this hole, I don't have enough room. If I put it in the first hole, I've got to open the vise too much. So we want to kind of find the right hole where we can um, have the vise open as little as possible, but still be able to close and tighten the vise up. So now I'm going to close, I've got it in there, I'm going to close the vise up and hold that work snugly. You can see the work is held in there firmly so we can plane it. And one other thing to remember while you're doing this is make sure that your dog, the bench dog, and the vise dog are below the surface of the work. We don't want the vise dog, it's not sticking out much, but it's sticking above the work. Now, if I went to plane this is metal, and I've got a sharp blade, it's on here, and the blade's going to hit that. It's going to chip the blade and dull the blade, and we'd have to regrind that, and we won't get good results with a dull blade. I always want a really nice sharp plane blade. So I'm going to make sure that I put this down below the surface of the wood. Also, if you were going to make this piece of wood a little thinner, you want to make sure, like say I was going to remove like about 1/8 of an inch of material on here, say down to here, I'd want to make sure that the bench dog is well below that, as well as the vise well below the place that I'm going to plane to. So I'm going to tighten this in here, and then we'll start planing. Now I've backed it out, so it shouldn't, right now it's not planing at all. You can see no shavings are coming out. So I need to turn this clockwise, so I'm going to turn the wheel, and actually I still have to take up the play. So right now you can see it's just kind of spinning freely. So I'm going to turn it clockwise until I feel it snug up. And then I'm going to turn about a half turn there. And it's still nothing, so I'm going to turn it another half a turn. And now it's taking the shaving, which is good. It's a nice shaving we're getting. One of the things you want to listen for to tell you that you're doing a good job planing is the sound, or you've got your plane well adjusted. And you can hear that sound. It's nice and kind of like a swoosh, kind of a pleasant sound, and it's not too hard to plane. Now, another thing I'm doing when I'm planing, I'm putting my weight on the front hand when I start, and making sure the blade is off the board. And as I plane through the board, I'm going to switch my weight to the back, my backhand, so that I'm not, if I don't do that, if I'm pressing down on the front, I'm going to go like that. And if I press down on the back when I start, I'm going to go be like this. I'm not going to cut. So you want to make sure you're pressing on the front when you start and on the back when you end. Now, I'm going to advance the blade so it takes a deeper cut, and you'll hear what it sounds like when you're taking too deep of a cut. So I'm going to advance that blade a little bit, and you can hear that sound. It's hard to do. I get a thick shaving, my finish isn't as nice, and you kind of get that crunchy sound. To review what we've learned so far is that to adjust the blade forward, you turn the wheel or this knob clockwise, and to back it out, you're going to turn it counterclockwise, which would be this way, and that you need to take up any backlash or play after you've made that adjustment. Second thing to remember is to keep the bench dogs below the surface of your work. And the last thing is when you're planing, make sure you're transferring weight from front knob, starting on the front knob, and transferring your weight to the back knob or the back tote, front to back. I hope this helps and that you enjoy successful planing.